to those that were able to join me over on Crisis Report. Let's talk about the honeymoon being over. So, Crisis Report had a lot of political polling. New polls are coming out. And with about 70-some days coming, it's not good for the Democrats. Honeymoon is over. The bait and switch has occurred. People aren't buying it. You know, they sit there and they're like, oh, cool, it's not Joe. And then they go buy some groceries and they come back and they're like, man, this mother, you know what I mean? Polls are not to be trusted. I can tell you that. I've said it here on many times. You know, they come out with these polls and like, oh, she's up by 2-3 points. And the first thing I'll say is, let me see who they're polling. They oversample the crap out of people. Why? Because it's not about a poll of actual sentiment. The poll is to, you know, push sentiment of the people. You know, it's the tail wagging the dog, right? And so she was not a popular candidate in 2020, and she is not a popular candidate now. The only reason why she's got anything going for her is because, you know, she's not Joe. So even quintessential, like, minority voters that are quintessentially Democrat are saying, you know what, I'm done with the raw deal. I've seen it. You guys have sold me on this crap for too long, and I'm switching. What can I lose? I've seen a lot of those posts where people are like, you know what, I got nothing to lose. I'm broke. I'm barely making it. You know, what does it matter? And the funny thing is all these people on this side, they're like, you know, what is the phenomenon of Trump? Trump is the biggest FU vote in the world. He is a response of decades of war and decades of our, you know, money not buying what it used to. I was sitting there explaining to people today how the average person is 37 years old who buys a house. How's that possible? You know, people used to buy the houses in their 20s, and now, what, almost 40 years old, you're buying your first house? And I bet a lot of them are still living with their parents because it's all they can do, and that's not a slam. So, all this is going on right now. And, yeah, the polling is crap. So, founder of the main outside spending group backing Kamala says their own internal opinion polling is much less rosy. It's because it's not. They you know, they're gaslighting us all. They know it. You know it. We know it. So, numbers are much less rosy than we were seeing in the public. You know, Washington Times says some pollsters are even sounding the alarm over her so-called surge in the polls, which is basically a fabrication. You know, they're trying to say like she's someone different than Joe, but I mean, it was Biden-Harris in 2020, if I remember correctly. So nothing has changed. She's just taken over the mantle of party, you know, selection. So all this is people aren't buying it. So it says, since the switch, Harris is leading Trump nationally by nearly 2 percentage points and is either leading or tied with all 7 battleground states. Now, if you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you in Lower Manhattan. Republican analysts, however, argue that these polling numbers may not accurately reflect voter sentiment due to biased polling methodology. And what is that methodology? Well, metadata from the call center's college-educated Dems are 3 to 4 times more likely to answer than non-college. While weighting can help minimize the bias if done correctly, it won't totally eliminate the problem. That's because people on the right are at work. They're not sitting there at home able to just pick up the phone and have a 10-minute polling consultation with a random kid from a college. They're working their side hustle. They're doing their side bartending gig for the 2 nights a week to make the extra money so they can get their kids shoes. How many people have a side hustle right now? Seriously. If you have a side hustle, put a 1 in the chat. I'd like to know how many people have a side hustle. Because obviously I have a side hustle. I've got YouTube and I've got my music. Okay? If you have a side hustle or would like one, well, we can use that too. Put a 1 in. If you don't, put a 2 in. I know Northern Girl Hobbies does. That's good to see you. Seriously, I mean, you have to. There's no way you can make it right now with not having like something, bringing a little bit of extra money in, whether that's, mowing the neighbor's lawn every Saturday because they're too old and they kick you $30 or whatever. Maybe you go scrapping. We had some scrap metal on our land, a couple of old trailers that have been there forever, and I was like, let's get these things out of there. Got them out there, made an extra like $40-$50. And I was driving today, and this guy on the side of his house, I would never take his stuff, but he had like this pile of metal, and I was like, man, bro needs to go scrapping. So SB, thank you so much. You're too kind. Thank you. People are not happy. They're hurting. It's really tough out there right now for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're, low income or high income. Everything has gotten exponentially more expensive. I don't have to sell you on it. I don't have to go through all the numbers again. We do it here on the daily. So many polls have oversampled disproportionately smaller share of Republican voters compared to exit poll data. I remember a Rasmussen thing that came out showing that basically at this point, of the people in this country, 25% are Republican, self-identifying, and 23% are Democrat, with 52%, folks, identifying as an independent. Now, whether they lean left, right, center, whatever, that's on them. But they don't identify with the other two. So why would they oversample the Democrats if more people identify as a Republican? It's because it's not about actually getting an honest and true polling. It's about wagging the dog, okay? So it's misleading. Don't worry, I'm getting to the doom, folks. The doom's coming. The doom is coming. So they're giving her this phantom advantage, and it's BS. Now, people do say that Republicans are, we're too busy, You can say lazy or whatever you want to say. Democrats get super excited. I mean, to this is their religion. It's not the religion to Republicans. Republicans, they go to church on Sundays for such things, and they work 2 and 3 jobs so they can do the things they want to do. And then if they have time, they'll go and sit there and worry about the politics, right? So they undersample Republicans intentionally to tamp down support for Trump, and that's just the facts. We all know this. So it says here, according to Zero Hedge tweeting, they're on to us. We can't keep oversampling Democrats anymore to rig poll. Here's an idea. Let's just massively oversample women to push Kamala. They'll never figure that one out. And then from there, it goes and it shows you all the different numbers. And of course, they just oversample whatever they need. And there's different ways. I mean, you can, like they say, lies, damn lies, and statistics. They can make it go whichever way they want. So, Suffolk University, USA Today poll. More respondents identifying as Democrats, 37.1, Republicans 33.8. That's not fair. Democrats making up 33% of respondents compared to only 29% for Republicans. Yahoo poll. Recent polls seem to favor Democrats disproportionately. There's more Republicans than there are Democrats. That's just a fact due to voter rolls. So I don't know what they're trying to do, but it's not going to work. I mean, it's people are livid, I mean, the cost of living alone. I mean, I'm wargaming with my wife tonight about like what subscription services like Hulu and stuff to get rid of, because we need every nickel we can get. We had a really big August with stuff, but still, I mean, we gotta rein it in. I'm sure you do too. So the members, Sway, others, thanks for, kicking me a couple bucks. It's great. This is my side hustle, and that's why I'm here every night. Not just because, I like making money, which, trust me, the money's okay, but it's nothing I could write home about. I appreciate it, but all of this is weighing down on people. So New York Times, Siena, Yahoo, all of them are doing whatever they can. And why is that, folks? Why? Why do they have to pad the numbers? Why? Because people are afraid of having friggin' armed Venezuelan gangs take over their homes. Yes. It's happening all over now. It's happened in Denver, confirmed. It's happened in Chicago, not completely confirmed, but basically confirmed. San Antonio is another area supposedly where this has happened. I don't know about you, but I mean, I don't know what I would do if a group of gang members with AK-47s, AR-15s, or whatever, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you're only one man. I don't know if you have the firepower to take that, but I mean, getting into a hail of bullets with people coming in. So, yeah. So this is what it is, Mayor of Aurora, Colorado, just confirmed Venezuelan illegal migrant gangsters have indeed taken over several apartment complexes and have pushed out property managers to extort rents from tenants. So, I mean, I wish this was something overblown. I wish this was hyperbolic, but this is actually happening. So when people are like, "Wow, I'm kind of changing over and I'm going to a conservative side of things," this is why. The video is frightening. I have to tell you that, because as a dad and everything else, I look at that and I imagine my own front door. What would I do? Where would we go? There's 4 or 5 of them. They have heavy armor. I mean, they are strapped. So, this is frightening. It really is. Masked gang waving AR-style rifle attacks a home in Denver. 0 arrests. Coming to a neighborhood near you. That's not fear, that's reality. It's not fear, that's reality. Now, you have a better chance of getting harmed in a car wreck going to work, but still, I don't remember growing up in America where my parents were like, "Hey, wait a second, make sure that the door barricade." I had I get sponsorship stuff all the time. I turn them all down because I don't want to come. Basically, this is my mentality, okay? For the people that get mad when I say, "Hey, thanks for sponsoring" and stuff like that. I don't promote items like, different things. Not that they're bad or good or anything. The reason why is because I want to promote good information. And if you like it, if you think it's good, you'll do what you do, right? I'm not trying to huck anything on you or, push something because I get a commission. That's not what I want to do. We all need our money. If my product is good as a person coming here and telling you the information I am, you'll grab $1 or $2 out of your pocket. Okay? That's the way I see it. And if you can't, it's probably because you shouldn't. God bless you. I wish you luck. Come back tomorrow night. We'll pick it up again. These things are getting nasty. And a hat tip to Angry Prepper, if I may. Hat tip to Angry Prepper, who last week, before anybody was reporting on this, put this out into the prepper community. Because he had a video on it, and I was watching it, and I get busy. I'm one of his mods. I'm a lot of the clout I've gotten is because of him. So I have a great respect for him. He literally turned me into a prepper. Watching a Doomsday's prepper, he hates that. He hates being tied to that. But watching him in New York City as a guy that was living in another borough or burb of New York City at the time, he turned me into a prepper. And thank God. He brought everybody in the know of this thing. And he was basically like, what are we going to do? Like, this is actually happening. And of course, at the time, I think some people were like, oh, this is, typical, prepper, chum in the water. Well, now it's all over the place. Everybody's talking about it. Because it is frightening. It is a frightening thing to contemplate. I literally wargamed what would happen. And you probably should too. Now, I'm way out in the country, but that doesn't mean safe. Maybe because they're going out to suburbs. Now, I'm a former resident of New York City, was there for almost a decade. I got married in the New York City area. My wife is from New York. Maryland, New York by way of Maryland. She's both, you get the point, whatever. She was born in New York. 3 out of 4 arrested in Midtown, migrant, crime and again. This is the New York Post late city final. Pretty sure today. Yep. 3 out of 4. I used to work and manage a bar in Midtown Manhattan. Okay. North Times Square. And I know the area very well. There's beat cops. I had one of the cards, the whatchamacallit, not SBA, the police supporter cards. So basically something happened. I had the number of the local beat cop, and he was a really good dude. And only a couple times I have to call this guy, And he'd come in, and every time he'd come in, I'd make his meal, because I have a great respect for cops. Most cops are good people. They really are. They're there for good reasons. They want to help and all that, all right? Are there bad cops? Absolutely. Are all cops bad? No. And I remember looking at this time, Ronald Jarvis, good Lord, brother, thank you so much. God bless you, dude. I really appreciate it. Yeah, stay frosty. Hold on, I got to like that one. That's awesome. Thank you, dude. I remember walking from my job to Grand Central to take the train home, okay? And I would have, money on me because I made tips. I never felt unsafe in Midtown Manhattan. I wouldn't walk in any of those streets right now after midnight without going to, deposit the money first if you paid me. And from what I understand, like muggings are up, everything is up. All of it. So, this is a map, folks, and this is why I wanted to come here. People wondering, they're oversampling, they got to get Kamala over the thing. I don't know what they're going to do, because I don't really think, with all of the news, it's gotten so bad that there's no way I see. Well, there is a way, but there's they're going to have to perform a miracle. So here are all of the areas where they have people going. They've got city, county, part of a regional jail, lovely, state facility, or state itself. Okay. Now, they have come out and they have said that Tren de Agua, or Aragua, Tren del Aragua, the TDA, Venezuelan gang, is coming here, and basically they have operatives of the Maduro regime that are implanted in this thing, and they basically have been sent up north to cause chaos. He's like, yeah, go north, young son. There's all kinds of suburbs and beautiful cities with nice people that are sitting ducks. So this is where they sent a lot of those people. Now, that doesn't mean anything. They're all population centers. The state, well, California, they've littered that place with it. I'm sitting right there where all that big cluster, is, that fuster cluck on the right side is. I'm in there somewhere, right? So this is something that's going to get more than likely worse. And it's something that we need to really be worried about because it's happening all over. So let's go on. There you have it. It will not matter who wins the election. The flood have a purpose in the overall plan that has been unfolding. Chaos as far and wide as possible. Massive spread across the nation. Now, I don't know about you, but I think this guy is spot on. If you've been coming here, am I voting conservative and all that? Yeah, I am. But do I think it's going to do anything? Do I think it's going to stop TDA or all the people that have come from this area up? No, I don't. I don't think it's going to do anything. A road bump as at most. The other thing is another person. I don't know if they were on X or wherever. I can't remember, but he basically said, what's going to happen when they really do try to start to get these people out of here? It's one thing if you're coming over and you're trying to get up here to just be like a domestic maid or something, or maybe like a nanny or whatever. You're a sweet, young Latino thing that's just coming up for a better life. That's one thing. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand that. But when you are sent by the Venezuelan government to just basically spread chaos far and wide, like this guy is saying, that is a whole different thing. Whole different thing. So these are the sanctuary cities. This is where it's all going down. You can see, I see Kansas City. I see New Orleans. I see a bunch in Texas, the entire states of Washington, Oregon, and California. Looks like a big old stack of pancakes over by D.C. This is nuts. So what happens? What happens when we start to say, okay, this is too much. They're causing too much chaos. There's all kinds of issues going on. We need to get rid of these people. These guys are going to start going nuts. They're going to start going gangbusters. Came out yesterday, the day before. Trump family said if he doesn't win, they're leaving the country. There's been a sea change, folks, in what's going on all around us. This isn't what it was a year ago. Like we're in the end stage now. We're getting there. We're in a way that is incredibly dangerous. And this isn't, some kind of hyperbole or click the button, come back tomorrow night for your next shot of cortisol. This is a really big concern of mine and a lot of people. I don't think this country is going to look like it does right now, even in 3 months. Because what happens if Orange Man Bad takes the cake? Look what happened over in Germany. AfD took Leipzig, big city over there in Thuringia. And what happened? The left started attacking stuff, started going nuts. What do you think is going to happen over here? And my fear is that they're going to really expand. They're going to go, nuts. I was privy to a call in 2020 between hardcore leftists. They were effectively planning how to take D.C. I don't know if that's still out there. I don't know if, it seemed legit. Like there are people on that side that have war gamed such things in large cities. What are we going to do? What happens? Okay, Orange Man Bad wins, if we were to come in from this, part of town and spread out and take these vantage points and establish a beachhead over here and yada yada, we could really cause some chaos. Do you think that's not possible? I think it's possible. You know how I know it? This. I mean, look at this. Let me see if it'll play. There you go. Just watch. Look at that. Imagine that walking up to your door. Now from here it's grainy and it's not great and all that, but still. Look at that. Guy's in his garage right now. Now they only walk out with a motorcycle. That's the good news. So they get the motorcycle, but I mean these guys are hardcore strapped. Look at that. That guy's got a handgun, clearly. I mean, that's frightening. I've got little girls, man. These guys are savages. These guys don't play by rules. There's no, anything to stop them. So they can oversample all they want. I think the word's gotten out that everything that's going on right now, it really is one of the most important elections of our entire existence as a country. It's not about what taxes are going to be or whatever. It's like, are we going to allow this armed invasion, literally, keep going? It doesn't matter if it's Denver, it doesn't matter if it's Chicago. You could be living in, BFE, wherever, thinking that, you're holed up and good. This could happen to anyone. So I'm concerned. I am. I don't see anybody fixing this. I don't see any way to really get these elements out of our country, unless they brought in the military. But what does that look like? Angry's video tonight was on martial law. I don't want to give up my freedom for that. But saying how did all this happen? Why are these guys here? People aren't stupid. They get it. There's a little bit more than just, freedom to marry who you want or, rates of taxation to businesses and stuff like that. This is well beyond that now. This is quite literally existential for the country and everything else. So, I just baffled how we've gotten to this point. I mean, I know why we're here. I know how we got here, but I don't see an easy way out of it. So stay strapped or get clapped, folks. That's all I'm going to say. I have a conspiracy theory before I go. I think that's why the recent 2A wins in the Supreme Court. I don't think they're stupid. I think they know who's coming in the country, and they're like, you know what? We better give people as much of a fighting chance as possible. I mean that. Back of my mind, they're like, whoa, look what's coming over. We better give them a chance. So, as I said over on Crisis Report, this isn't about a threat to democracy. This is a threat to their power. So they're doing everything they can to hold on to it, and now they're getting desperate. So as I put over there on Crisis Report, chaos it is, but as I'm saying here, something big is coming. Something big is going on. And it's going to unfold in the next few months. So if I were you, I'd get going. I'd do whatever you have to do to get ready, whatever that may look like. Great video I watched today of 3 of 7 Project. I don't know if you follow him. Former Navy SEAL, great guy. Talking about preparedness and things you're going to need outside the usual stuff, things like batteries and such. But everybody's preparedness needs to be number one in your game right now. Okay? Because this isn't going to get better. No one's going to come into office to fix it. And we all don't want to have this knock on our door or crack in our window as they break in and come rolling in as we're sleeping with our family next to us with AR-15s and whatever the hell else they got. Friends, hit that like button, do the subscribe thing, all that, darken out the bell. Thanks to all my members here like CH. Thanks so much to my mods like Mamacita94. Everybody else, I really appreciate you. Stealth Mode, thank you. All of you guys. You keep the lights on. I really, really appreciate it. Be like poor bastard prepping. Good stuff, bro. All right, friends. I appreciate you. What's Watchman saying? Watchman has good stuff. Yep. It is. It's delay. We'll see. It's coming. It's coming, folks. Get ready. Okay? He says, where's the strategies? Well, yep, you're right. We're trying, man. I know you're trying too. We're all trying to tell people to wake up. All right, folks. We'll see you on the next one. God bless.